In the AJ range, we have a lot of office chairs to choose from, and it's very, very hard for people to know what kind of chair they should use. What determines that is, first of all, how many hours a day you sit. Also very important is how your body looks. Are you tall? Are you very heavy? Etc. etc. In the AJ range, we have 5 different mechanisms to choose from. We have the permanent contact, we have the swing or lock tilt, we have the Synchro chair, MultiSynchro chair, and the last one we have in our assortment is a FreeFlow chair. And what we are trying to do today is to go through the different mechanisms and see what kind of different adjustabilities there are on these chairs. The permanent contact chair or mechanism is the easiest one we have in the assortment. Not so many possibilities with this chair. The permanent contact actually means that the seat is always in a fixed position. So even if you sit down on the chair, you unlock the backrest and let it follow your body, the seat is still in a fixed position. And that is actually what permanent contacts are really all about. Not so many adjustabilities, as I told you. As on all office chairs, you can go up and down. You can release the backrest, and you can also lock it in the position that you prefer. Also, the last thing you can do is adjust the backrest in height. So very, very cheap, cost-effective chair. And that is basically what you can say about the permanent contact. The chair that we have in front of us has the swing or lock tilt mechanism. It works like this. You have this rocking function, and when you unlock the chair and start to rock it, the seat and the back moves together like this. So the angle that you have on the seat and on the back follows throughout the movement. So if I sit down in the chair, of course, on this chair, as on all chairs, you can go up and down. That is a basic thing. On the other side, you have a lever where you actually unlock the function, the swinging function. And when you start swinging or rocking like this, you can see that my back and my seat moves in the same position. We have the same angle throughout the movement. So that is what swing is all about. On most chairs, you have a fixed position between seat and back, and you cannot change the backrest angle. But on this particular chair, you can. So on the right side here, you can actually change the backrest angle like this. You lock it, and then when you start rocking the chair, the back and the seat still follow the same fixed position throughout the movement. So seat and back always in a fixed position when you're rocking the chair. So that is basically what the swing mechanism is all about. In front of us we have the Synchro chair. The Synchro technique is a technique where the chair moves in a 2-to-1 ratio. And what is that? When you unlock the function and you start rocking the chair, the seat and the back moves in 2 different angles. As an example, if you lean back 20 degrees with the backrest, the seat will also follow, but not as much, just 10 degrees. So if I sit down in the chair, and of course, as on all chairs, you can always go up and down. You can adjust the height. On the other side, you have a lever where you unlock the Synchro mechanism like this. And maybe it's hard to see on the movie, but when I'm rocking the chair like this, the back moves more compared to the seat. So the backrest angle is bigger than the angle on the seat. So it's a very, very ergonomic mechanism, you can say. Other settings on the chair is that you can also lock the chair in different positions. You can of course unlock it, and you can lock it in several different positions on the way. On this chair you can also adjust the backrest height to find good lumbar support for your lower back. That is basically what the Synchro technique is about. There are a lot of different kind of Synchro chairs in our assortment with different settings. This is just one. On some Synchro chairs you can also adjust seat depth and also seat angle sometimes. But the Synchro technique is a 2-to-1 ratio, so remember that. Here we have the MultiSynchro chair. We don't have so many MultiSynchro chair in our assortment, but we still have them. MultiSynchro is quite similar to the Synchro chair. It moves in a 2-to-1 ratio. You might remember that if you're leaning 20 degrees on the backrest, the seat will follow, but just 10 degrees. But on the MultiSynchro, you have one feature that you don't have on any Synchro chair, and that is that you can release the seat angle and let the seat angle be free floating throughout the movement. And it will be much easier when I sit down on the chair to show you this. So if I sit down on the chair, of course, as on all chairs, you have up and down on the chair, so you can adjust the height. We also have one thing here, which is adjustment that you can adjust the rocking motion, and you can adjust the resistance in the backrest after your own body weight. If you're a very light person, you want the chair to move very easily. If you're a heavy person, you want a little bit more resistant. Also down here, a little bit further in, you have a bottom that you can push, and you can actually adjust the seat depth. And when you release the bottom, you lock it in the position that you prefer. And this feature is a very, very nice feature if you're going to use the chair in a whole office. Maybe you have 20 different users, but you want the same expression and the same chair. The seat depth adjustment is a key adjustment, I would say, because then you will get good support even if you're a tall person or a short person. So that is a really nice feature. On the left side, you unlock the Synchro mechanism like this. As far as this, it's very, very similar to the Synchro chair. But what separates this chair from a Synchro, what separates the MultiSynchro from a Synchro, is one key thing. And that is, on the right side you have a lever back here. And when you twist that, you actually release the seat angle and let it be free floating, so it follows you. And together, when you open the mechanism like this, you can actually see that they are totally independent of each other. But still, when you are rocking it, it always follows the 2-to-1 ratio. So it always works as in a Synchro mode. Important to remember, MultiSynchro, what separates that from the Synchro chair is actually just this thing here, the seat angle adjustment. The chair we have in front of us is a FreeFlow chair. We just have one in our assortment, and why we still have it is actually because we have it in a lot of public tendencies and things like this. So it's frequently asked for, but not from our main customer stock. Very similar to the MultiSynchro chair. The only thing that actually separates them is that this chair doesn't move in a 2-to-1 ratio. Every part on a FreeFlow chair is independent of each other. So the seat moves as it wants to move, while the back is moved like the back wants to move. So it follows your movement very, very independently. If I sit down on the chair, I will try to show you how it works. Of course, as on all chairs, on the right side you have up and down. So you adjust the seat height. On the same lever you have this thing here where you adjust the resistance of the swing mechanism, like this. So if you're a very light person, you want the chair to move very easily. If you're a heavy person, you want a little bit more resistance in the backrest. Also down here you have a little bottom which you can push in and adjust the seat depth. Also, this is a crucial thing for if you use the chair to a lot of different users in different lengths. You can always create good support for the user if you have this setting, the seat depth adjustment. Turn the chair around. On the left side you have the lever for lock and unlock the mechanism, like this. And this is all settings that are quite similar to the MultiSynchro chair. If we turn around again, we can find this little lever here which releases the seat angle. Now it's when it's happened, because now it's quite different from the MultiSynchro chair, because if I'm leaning back and the seat is leaning forward like this, they doesn't move together anything. They move totally independent of each other. So that is basically what FreeFlow is compared to the MultiSynchro. It never moves in a 2-to-1 ratio. It never moves synchronously. So that is basically what the FreeFlow is all about.